Wow! The Athletics are currently fighting for a wild card spot and to get to 500. While they might not be a bird team, their fans' love is rare. Their fans' love is true. This team's like a bird. It doesn't know where its soul is. It doesn't know where its home is. They are currently a dismal 12-18 at home and a much better 20-17 away. They play from Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, California, which holds about 13,000 fans, by far the lowest in the whole league. They want to move to Vegas eventually. You know, one of my deep sporting regrets is I never got to attend a game in the Oakland Coliseum. That place was built in the 60s, cold over 45,000 fans, and has so much character. Sure, it might have had its quirks and its difficulties and its issues, supposedly, but it looked like fun. Looked like a great time to take in a game in Oakland and sun and California weather. But the way this team's playing, I bet you the Athletic fans in Oakland are hoping this team was back, just like me. This team is playing great, and they're doing it the Athletic way, with one of the lowest payrolls in all of baseball. Is this Moneyball all over again? Well, let's take a look at this team that's been playing well enough to fight for a wild card spot. Here's their first baseman. He has an OPS of over 900. He's already got 15 home runs this year at only 23 years old. And my favorite thing about him is putting a long pause between his first and last name. It's Nick Kurtz. He's been one of the best, if not the best, first baseman this season. Colonel Kurtz, or Big Amish, has the best on-base percentage in the entire league. Nicholas Kurtz has an OPS that's ranked third in the league. The first baseman is coming off an amazing 2025 where he was the Rookie of the Year in the American League and had an OPS of over 1,000. This year his numbers have dipped a little. Notably, his home runs are down about 30%. This guy had an on-base streak of 48 games this year, which tied Mark McGwire in 1996 for an Athletics record. And let's not forget, Nicholas Jeffrey Kurtz is only 23 years old. Another incredible producer has been Shea Langeliers, the catcher they call Bangaliers. He has 17 home runs, which ties him for 8th in the league. He's hitting balls to the chandelier. Chandelier! So you can say, see you later. And he's not just doing it at home. Most of his home runs are coming in away stadiums. Langeliers is also top 10 in slug. The 28-year-old has turned into arguably the best catcher in the game. Now, for one of the low points of this team, and it pains me to say it, because he's been involved in some of the most iconic play-by-play calls of all time. Brent Rooker has not been pulling his weight in the DH role. Rooker is batting around 200, and the 31-year-old's numbers have taken a hit from last season with his slug dropping almost 20%. Now, let's get to third base, where these Athletics have some options. Zack Gelof has played the most games for this team at third base, and he's done well, achieving over 700 in OPS. 26-year-old has improved massively this season. His OPS is up about 50%, and he's doubled his homer output this year. But this team also has Max Muncy at third. No, not that Max Muncy. Yes, that Max Muncy. The Athletics' 25th overall pick in 2021. He's been pretty good for this team, and he's only 23. His numbers are up across the board, despite and except for his home runs, which have dipped about 50%. I think Max Muncy could be around for a while. That's two great choices at third base. Let's not forget, their number one prospect, and who most consider to be the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, is a third baseman and shortstop. His name, Leo DeVries, who they got in a trade with the Padres. Maybe he can play shortstop. Well, their current shortstop is 24-year-old Jacob Wilson, who was their 6th overall pick in 2021. He's been solid this year, and while his numbers are down from last year, he's still a key piece of the Athletics going forward. Don't forget, this guy was 2nd in Rookie of the Year voting to his teammate Nick. Kurtz, at second base. Veteran Jeff McNeil has been pretty decent for the team. He was acquired, along with cash, before the 2026 campaign. The excitement isn't limited to the infield, though. After starting the year in AAA, where he dominated, including tying a Pacific Coast League record for 12 consecutive at-bats with a hit, Henry Bolte was called up and continued his hot start. He's hitting around 300. For only 22 years old, that's extremely promising. The center fielder is currently replacing the injured Denzel Clark, but it will be hard to take him out of the lineup. And more excitement in left field. 24-year-old former first-rounder Tyler Soderstrom has been great since he first came aboard in 2025. His numbers may be down a little bit this year. He could be in a sophomore slump, but there's a ton of promise with this fella. And the most common right fielder for this team, Lawrence Butler, has struggled this year after 2 productive campaigns when he was 23 and 24. Now, 25, he has seen a sharp decline. Luckily, Carlos Cortez has picked up the slack, and he's hit very well at that position. Now on to where this team has struggled. The pitching. One bright spot has been JT Ginn. Give him Ginn with tonic, 'cause he's been supersonic. He even took a no-hitter into the 9th when it was eventually broken up. The 27-year-old is allowing much less contact from last season. However, 28-year-old Jacob Lopez has seen significant decline this season after a decent year last year. Veteran Jeffrey Springs has been decent for the team, and 2 pretty good starters, Aaron Civale and Luis Severino, are injured, leaving room for more of the young starters. A big concern for the Athletics has been the play of Luis Morales, who after a tremendous rookie season has not performed well at all in his limited start. The Athletics hope the 23-year-old is a big part of their rotation moving forward. He has spent time in the minors this year after his struggles. Now, to where this team needs a massive improvement. In the bullpen, this team has been terrible at holding on to games. Hogan Harris has been solid in his performances. And Justin Sterner has been pretty good. But there is no extremely reliable arm for this team. But let's try to get a reading on and hop over to Gage Jump, the 23-year-old rookie they called up. His walks and hits allowed per inning pitch is impressive, and he's striking out 13 batters in 18 1/3 innings. Hitters are hitting only .234 against the rookie reliever. Jack Perkins has seen his underlying numbers improve, but his ERA and WHIP have worsened. But overall, this is a team where hitting outshines pitching. The Athletics are bottom 10 in WHIP and have allowed from their pitching top 10 most runs and home runs. While the hitting numbers are better, with them being top half in homers, average, slug, OPS, and hits. So, are the Athletics doing Moneyball again? I mean, kinda, right? Kinda. I mean, they got one of the lowest payrolls, and they're gonna rely on young and therefore cheap contracts for the foreseeable future. It's kinda Moneyball. They do have expensive veterans in Severino and McNeil, and with McNeil they took on an expensive contract and only got a little bit of cash back to offset it. And guys like Soderstrom, Wilson, and Lawrence Butler are signed long into the future. Overall, I think if they added, this team could be playoff bound, but I'm not sure addition is on the menu. I do believe that this young core of Nick, Kurtz, Langeliers, Soderstrom, Wilson, Gelof, Ginn, Gage Jump, Bolte, eventually DeVries, and Cortez, and whoever they decided to add, could carry a franchise for years and be the makings of a World Series contender. and it seems sports loves to reward teams that break fans' hearts and move away. But I do see some Moneyball actions possibly in this team's future. It just depends when they want to be competitive. I could see them trying to unload veterans such as Severino or McNeil. And I could see them doing everything to move on for Brent Rooker, who has not been great, admittedly. I also think when stars like Soderstrom, Wilson, and Butler, or even Kurtz and Langeliers, when they get too expensive, they might try to move on and try to find cheaper, younger options. But that's years away, and Vegas could change the picture entirely. If management wants to build a contender the first year that they're in Vegas, then this is a core worth betting on. Do you think this core has the makings of a World Series championship? Have you been to a game in Sacramento? Is it weird? Have you been to a game at the old athletic stadium, Oakland Coliseum? I would have loved to go to a game there. What was it like? Was it fun? Was it as bad as they say? Was it as good as they say? How much did beer cost? Do you live in Oakland? Do you live in Sacramento? Do you live in Las Vegas? Are you excited for the Athletics to come to Vegas? Thank you for stopping by. Baseball coming at ya!